Welcome everybody to Hali Leganov in Kielce, Poland. This is day 5 of the AIBA 2021 Youth Men's and Women's World Championships. I'm Andy Clark, and I'll be guiding you through the action from Ring B. We've got women's light flyweights, 4 fights involving them. 3 actually, because that second fight down between OSTAN and KATO, that is a walkover in favour of the Romanian athlete. So 3 fights at light flyweight for the women, 1 fight at middleweight. And then we get into the men's light flyweights. Looking forward to seeing Ahmetovic again. He was impressive in his first outing, and then Ishchanov of Uzbekistan as well. He comes with a big reputation. Then down to the bottom there, Baldassi goes straight through Kajihara of Japan, unable to box, and that one also a walkover. Dilshod Abdulmuradov of Uzbekistan, very impressive when we saw him in the first prelim round. There's the mascot. Another full day in charge for him. He's quite square there, isn't he? In terms of the technique there, I don't know, he could do with being a little bit more side on. That beak is very high, very, very high. Big target area to hit there. His balance is quite good though. I would have to say that. Takes the feet with him. Difficult really to employ a tight guard when you've got that big a head to try and protect. So anyway, the serious fighters backstage just loosening up, warming up. It's interesting when you see fighters preparing for a fight. Some like to get a real sweat on. Others don't like to do that much. Just like to get loose. For many, it's just a case of zoning in mentally. And they'll just throw a few shots. Not a lot. Maybe on a bag, maybe on some pads, but they've been boxing that long that the rhythms of it are never going to desert them. That's the screen backstage.
Start about number 188 in the ring B, women's 48 kilogram. Please into the red corner from Kazakhstan, Arailym MARAT.
And this is a good fight to start with, the light flyweight. We've got Arailym MARAT of Kazakhstan, who got a bye in the first preliminary round.
And his opponent in the blue corner, from India, GITIKA.
So that's MARAT. Coming to the blue corner will be GITIKA of India, who turned in a really impressive performance in the last round to beat Diana Ermakova, the 2-time European youth champion representing Russia. She's a real handful, GITIKA. It's got a style that very much works for it. Front foot fighter.
And the judges over this bout in the ring B, Slovakia, Korea, Jordan, Israel, and Poland. And the referee from Azerbaijan, Mr. Emil Kurbanaliyev.
MARAT's won the national junior title in Kazakhstan. Finished first in the Nations Women's Cup in Serbia earlier this year. Gitika really impressed in that opening fight. Relentless puncher, but not extravagant, doesn't waste any energy. Short, quick steps with her feet, short, quick punches with her hands, the feet kind of mirroring what the hands do. So she's nice and balanced, although she is always on the front foot, always looking to come forward to negate it. Will take some doing. You need to be able to meet her at times, stick out that jab, catch her with it, stop her in her tracks. At other times, take a step back, little step to the side, give yourself enough room to try and pick her off rather on the way in. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how this goes. That's MARAT in the red. Gitika just taking a bit of time to get that head guard in place. Now the chin strap has come undone. This is taking forever. Finally, they managed to get it right. It is important to make sure it's absolutely in place, of course, for safety reasons, but comfort-wise too. It can't be a distraction for the fighter. Emil Gurbanaliev of Azerbaijan in charge of this one. 5 scoring judges at ringside.
Round 1.
So MARAT of Kazakhstan in the red, Gitika of India in the blue. Just feinting with that front Gitika, and then in she comes. Didn't take her long. And that's exactly what I mean. As I said, those kind of staccato, short, quick steps. And the hands working almost in unison with the feet. And MARAT with a step to the side there, managed to stay out of the way. MARAT looking to try and jab her way in. MARAT with the jab, caught on the gloves by Gitika, who again just comes forward. MARAT not too perturbed by that, though. They'll have watched Gitika and they'll have known what was coming. She inches forward, and then once that kind of trigger is pulled, forward she comes. And really, you do know what you're getting. Nice right hand back from MARAT. Step to the side and just caught her with the right as Gitika was coming forward. And MARAT looks like she may have the skills here to deal with this kind of style. Right hand over the top there again. Gitika closing in there, did get through with a couple. Chopping right hand from MARAT, looking for the left hand. She's looking to try and keep Gitika turning, keep her moving. And that's exactly the right thing to do. The last thing you need in this situation is just to be moving in straight lines, pulling back in straight lines. That's exactly what a fighter like Gitika will want, because she moves forward in a relentless straight line, and if you're pulling back on that same punching line, she'll catch you. But if you get off that punching line, it'll make it a lot harder for her. Left hand there from MARAT. That's not to say that GITIKA hasn't had some success in this round. She has, but MARAT has done a pretty good job for the most part of staying out of harm's way, relatively speaking. Bell goes at the end of the first round. Interesting first round. GITIKA did what she usually does, what we saw her do in the opening round. MARAT always knew she was going to have to find a method to counteract that. Round one scores.
Seconds out, please.
GITIKA, as I said, comes forward, throws those short, sharp punches. MARAT did have her success in that round, though. Did catch her a few times as she was on her way in, a step to the side, a right hand in particular. Jab just going up and down there from MARAT. GITIKA, though, trying to close in with the right hand. Right hand from MARAT. MARAT looking for the jab. MARAT's right hand just falling a little bit short there. GITIKA again just looking to let those hands go. MARAT hasn't quite found the range in this second round that she did in the first. Right hand on the inside there from MARAT. After she missed with the long right hand. Short right just found GITIKA. MARAT of Kazakhstan in the red. Good jab from her. GITIKA of India in the blue. Just hooking and then moving off to her left-hand side there, MARAT. As I said, she does need to keep GITIKA turning, keep her moving. Right hand on the inside there from GITIKA. Final 30 seconds of this second round. GITIKA again very, very busy. The left hand just about landed there, I think, at the end of that combination. Just couldn't quite find that right hand in the second round there. Marat, a couple of times she threw it from a long way out, and Gitika was able to slip it quite comfortably.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So into the third and final round. Marat of Kazakhstan in the red, Gitika of India in the blue. Gitika already with the one victory. A big scalp against Diana Ermakova in the first preliminary round. Marat got a bye through, so she would be certainly well rested, but I think having not boxed for a couple of days and having had the opportunity to get into the tournament, to get settled in the tournament, I think having boxed in that prelim round is probably an advantage for Gitika, actually. Good left hand there from Marat. Gitika again throwing on the inside. It's difficult with her to work out exactly what lands and what doesn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by decision is the boxer
Both just coming forward at exactly the same time there. When they engage on the inside, Gitika is always likely to come off better because she's just got that very, very quick hand speed. Marat holds those gloves down low. And when she's on the outside here, she needs to do more, really. Try and throw that jab. I know the 1-2 hasn't really worked for her particularly well. But when they're stood on the borderline of range there, she does have the height advantage. She did jab her way in there, or try to. Left hand to the chest, followed by a right hand. But what she knows is that at some point, Gitika will come forward if she doesn't do anything to discourage her from doing that. And at the minute, she's not really discouraging her at all. Comes in with a 1-2 there. The jab is really important against a fighter like Gitika. Absolutely critical. If you can plant a good solid jab, doesn't have to land clean on the head. Ideally it would, but if you hit her shoulder, chest, wherever, just something that just sets her off balance as she comes in there. It means that she can't just get onto the inside and just throw those hands. So the bell goes at the end of this contest between Arailym Marat of Kazakhstan and Gitika of India. We just await those final scores. Gitika had a healthy lead going into that final round. She was 2 points up on 4 of the scorecards, level on the other. I thought the first round was very, very close. I thought Marat might possibly have got some return in that round, but it was a clean sweep for Gitika. So Marat had a big mountain to climb going into that third and final round. And there's no way she'll have been able to turn it around.
188 in the ring, we win on points with the unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Gitika, India.
So through she goes. She's having a tremendous tournament so far, and unanimous decision, 3-0 with 4 of the judges, 2-1 with the other. So GITIKA advances through to the quarterfinals. And there's those final round scores, 10-9s across the board. As I said, I thought the first round was the closest. I thought MARAT could have got something out of that one, but rounds 2 and rounds 3, no arguments at all with the scoring there. I've had very few arguments with the scoring all week. The odd round here and there, but nothing more than that. And they've been tight rounds too. Difficult style to counteract, but as I said, in the first round, she moved pretty well, MARAT. Took a step to the side every now and again and caught her coming in, caught her moving past, but she just found it more and more difficult to do that as the fight went on. And I spoke about the importance of the jab when you're boxing someone like GITIKA. He never really jabbed through the odd lead right hand, but you can see that coming a mile away. You've got to stop GITIKA just moving in on you. Because if you don't, when she gets to the inside, she's got such good hand speed that she's going to land more.
And the winner by walkover from Romania, Elisabeta OSTAN. And we go to the fight bout number 190. And please into the red corner from France, Ambrine, ZITOUNI.
So the announcer just confirming the walkover there, which sees OSTAN, Elisabeta OSTAN, go through. Hikaru KATO of Japan unable to box. So now we've got Ambrine ZITOUNI of France making her way to the red corner. 2-time French junior national champion. Finished second in their youth championships in 2019.
From Armenia, Gayane TER-BARSEGHYAN.
Gayane, yeah, Barseghian of Mongolia. She's won a bronze at the 2020 European Youths, a bronze at the 2018 European Juniors, so experienced and successful in international competition.
The judges of this bout, Guatemala, Mongolia, Israel, Korea, Latvia, and the referee from Poland, Mr. Maciej Jurba.
TER-BARSEGHYAN of Armenia, I beg your pardon, I think I said Mongolia there. There she is, boxing out of the blue corner. And our judges from Guatemala, Mongolia, Israel, Korea, and Latvia. This once again in the light flyweight division. GITIKA and OSTAN through to the one quarter-final where they'll face each other in the bottom of the draw. Our next 2 fights will determine who goes through to the final 8 as well.
Round 1.
So into the first, ZITOUNI of France in the red. Yeah, Barseghian of Armenia in the blue. Yeah, Barseghian from Yerevan in Armenia, the capital. That's where the World Youths was back in 2012. I remember it well. She might not. She would have been very young at that point. Looking for the right hand there, yeah, Barseghian. ZITOUNI with a decent jab off the back foot, but a good right hand there from Barseghian. ZITOUNI letting her hands go there, but not really in range. Very composed look about Yerbosegin as he just inches forward there. She caught a left hand there from ZITOUNI, but she gets up close and lets those hands go, just hunting ZITOUNI down. Again, just inching forward with that front foot there, Yerbosegin. Pulls back, throws the right hand. ZITOUNI's kind of busier on the movement side. There's plenty going on with her. Yerbosegin, she's got that slightly more solid base. Good bit of footwork there from the Armenian, just taking those feet back, staying just out of range. Doesn't really waste any effort. Good right hand there. ZITOUNI trying to jab her way in. Did jab to the chest. Good exchange on the inside, pretty much even that one. Left hand from ZITOUNI clipped Yerbosegin after she landed a couple to the body. Nice right hand there from ZITOUNI. Yerbosegin opened out a bit. Pretty even opening round so far, 40 seconds remaining. Right hand from ZITOUNI. Both of them just swapping left hands. As the rounds progress, ZITOUNI just seems to have got a bit stronger, maybe just settled down a bit. Seems to have found a little bit of a groove. Yerbosegin, I thought, in the opening stages, and there's a slight problem here, I think, with the head guard. Right hand on the inside, but ZITOUNI landed her own right, followed by a left. There goes the bell at the end of round one. Good action in that opening 3 minutes. I thought Yerbosegin had the better of the first half of that round, and then towards the end of it, ZITOUNI had her spell, came into it more.
Seconds out, please. Round two.
That kind of range suits Yerbosegin. She's just quite tight there. She's got the shorter arms of the two and throws those hooks. Throws almost exclusively hooks. ZITOUNI with a good turn off the ropes there, throws the right hand. She could box this a little bit more on the outside if she wants to. Yerbosegin just, again, getting the feet close, climbing into those left and right hands. Good start to the round here from her, and ZITOUNI needs to try and get that jab in operation and just stop her walking in on her like that. Try and, as I said, just create that bit more distance, because she can have it at that kind of longer range, whereas Yerbosegin just can't. That's a decent left hand there from ZITOUNI, but again, she's just dipping ahead and kind of playing into Yerboseghin's hands a bit here. Midway through round two, the Armenian, though, in blue, has put plenty into this, and it was in the second half of the round, in that first round, that ZITOUNI came into it herself. Looking for the 1-2, that's better from ZITOUNI. She needs more of that. The French corner just saying that TER-BARSEGHYAN is tiring after putting a lot into the opening 90 seconds. Nice right hand there from TER-BARSEGHYAN to ZITOUNI. Looking for that left, catches her with a left at the end of that combination. She just shut down her own space a bit at times, ZITOUNI. Into the final 30 seconds, these two just standing off each other for the first time. Really right hand there from ZITOUNI. Still she comes forward here, TER-BARSEGHYAN. She's managed to sustain things better than she did in that first round, and finishing the round strongly here too.
Ես ասել եմ, իրան ձեռները դու գնում ես խփում իրան, բայց իրան հարվածը չես տնում։ Աչքը խփում է, քաշվի պատասխանը։ Մոտիկից 1-2 քաշվի։ Լավ սկսես վերջը հասնում, հակառակ վերջը հասկացա, ոչ
She really climbs into those lefts and rights, TER-BARSEGHYAN. As I said at the start, she's got a solid kind of base. She's not flying over the canvas. She's not employing all that much movement. It's quite solid.
Third round.
Lets those hooks go. ZITOUNI looking for that 1-2. One of the problems that ZITOUNI has, well, one thing you noticed about her stylistically is that her weight is quite heavily on her front foot, and so when she throws that jab right hand, she kind of leans in with the head, so she doesn't really use the height and reach advantage that she does have here, because she leans into the jab right hand. She did it right on cue there. Good left hand there from ZITOUNI, just moved off to the left as she threw it. One, two, the right hand landed there from ZITOUNI. And she's just staying a little bit more at range in this third round. ZITOUNI throwing that 1-2 from a little bit further out. And for the first time, we've seen TER-BARSEGHYAN looking to really try and jab away in a couple of times. She hasn't really got too much choice about that. If you control the distance in boxing, then you control the fight. And ZITOUNI in this final round has just controlled the distance a little bit better than she did in the previous one. Right hand getting through there from ZITOUNI. TER-BARSEGHYAN looking to get onto the front foot here and try and force things, just trying to wring every last drop of effort out of herself, but leaving herself slightly open there, and ZITOUNI came back with a couple of scoring shots. Short right hand there. That was a decent shot from ZITOUNI. Just dipped his shoulder, threw it over the top. Nice left hand there from the French fighter. Good final round from her. Good finish. Nice 1-2. Now some action from that final round. As I said, ZITOUNI had a good round in that third. Scores in round one going the way of ZITOUNI. What was a tight round, I felt. The tightest round probably of the fight. The second round was split. And we'll see which way that third one has gone, but you would expect to see the red arm raised here.
With about 119 ring B, win on points by split decision from the red corner, Ambrine, ZITOUNI, France.
ZITOUNI gets it 4-1. 3 rounds to 0 with 3 of the judges there, 2 rounds to 1 with another, and the other judge going 2 rounds to 1 in favour of TER-BARSEGHYAN. Final round was comfortably ZITOUNI's. So she goes through to the quarterfinals.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 191 48-kilogram women's. Please into the red corner from Italy, Erika PRISCIANDARO. And please to the blue corner from España, Carmen Gonzalez Ortega.
So another fighter light flyweight here. That was Erika PRISCIANDARO of Italy. There she is. She beat Baba Yagmur of Turkey by unanimous decision in the first preliminary round, and it was a good performance from her as well. Really good performance. This is Carmen Gonzalez Ortega of Spain, who got a bye in the prelims. Silver medalist in the 2020 European Youth Championships. The year before that, in 2019, PRISCIANDARO got a gold in the European Youths, and in 2018 got a gold in the European Juniors. So these two have got some silverware between them. PRISCIANDARO was really busy in that first fight against Baba Yagmur. Throws a good 1-2. Never stopped throwing it, really, and that's what won her the fight. Final instructions from Kim Jong-jin. So Preliminaries of Italy in the red. Gonzalez Ortega of Spain in the blue. Preliminaries will box out of the southpaw stance. Gonzalez Ortega, an orthodox fighter. And as I said, these two have won plenty between them. Preliminaries, a youth and junior European champion. Gonzalez Ortega with a silver in the European youths in 2020, losing to Diana Ermakova, who went out early here against GITIKA. Preliminaries just reaching for that backhand a little bit that time. Gonzalez Ortega just staying out of range at the moment, hasn't thrown an awful lot of self. Feint there from Preliminaries. Just short with the left hand there, Preliminaries. She's holding the center of the ring for the most part. Nice right hand there from Gonzalez Ortega. That was solid. Preliminaries was opening out to throw her left, and good hand speed there from the Spaniard. Good fight, this. Gonzalez Ortega just circling, looking to try and step in and find openings. Preliminaries with that nice kind of rhythm about her boxing that we saw in that previous fight. It is about the 1-2 for her. She throws very little else. Right hand there from Gonzalez Ortega, maybe got through. There's the backhand from Preliminaries. That definitely reached this time. Just short with the left that time. Right hand there from Gonzalez Ortega, just moving off to a left and through that right, and found Preliminaries. And she's got to get off that punching line as much as she can, try and keep Preliminaries turning, because if she stands straight in front of her, then she knows what's coming. And Preliminaries not a basic fighter. She doesn't just pile in throwing that 1-2 relentlessly apropos of nothing. She looks to try and set it up. So if you stay on the end of that, if you stay at that distance, then you've got a problem. You've got to make sure that that is not where you spend your time. She's got nice balance, Preliminaries. Small movements with the feet, always looking just to get close enough to throw that. Trusting that she can judge that distance.
Seconds out, please.
Lets her go nice and loose. You don't really see her fall in behind it, overcommit to it. If it's not going to get there, then she's happy enough with that. No big deal if it doesn't reach. She'll just look to reset and go again. She doesn't reach for it, is what I'm saying, basically. Sometimes with fighters, if a punch isn't quite going to get there, then they just reach for it. Weight goes forward, and that's what leaves them in a vulnerable state, really. Nice feet there from Preliminaries. Gonzalez Ortega tried to come forward herself. She's maybe a little bit too respectful of her opponent here, Gonzalez Ortega. I think she's slightly wary of Preliminaries, and as a result, maybe a bit cautious. Left hand there from the Italian got through, and another one as Gonzalez Ortega was looking to throw her right. She's got to take a few risks here, I think. Spanish fighter. Nothing gung-ho, nothing reckless, but she's on the retreat there. Preliminaries able to maneuver around the ring. She just pushed her back into the corner there, just with that front foot pressure, shaping, looking like she's going to throw the 1-2. She wasn't going to throw it because she wasn't in range to throw it, but it's just that kind of threat of it. Gonzalez Ortega coming forward there, but just crowds herself a little bit.
Minutito, Carmen, minuto, vamos. Box. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Claro. Mira. Tapadita, baja la barriga. No te tires. Pon arriba hasta ahora.
Good feet again there from Preliminaries. Just took herself out just half a step back because she knew that Gonzalez Ortega was committing. She could see it and then popped off the 1-2. She's a clever fighter. Clever fighter. You can see why she's won what she's won. It's a simple method she's got too. She knows what works for her. As I said, she'll throw the odd hook, but not very often. It's about that 1-2 and good use of the feet. Bell goes at the end of the second. Just feinting with the front foot there. You can't see the feet, but you can see from the upper body that that's what she's doing. And then, as I said, she's done a good job of just maneuvering Gonzalez Ortega back into corners, getting her where she wants her, just bit by bit. She'll just corral her around the ring.
Third round.
So it's the third and final round. Erika Preliminaries of Italy in the red. In the blue, Gonzalez Ortega of Spain, and she was looking to be a bit more aggressive there, but Preliminaries caught her with the 1-2, and then a left hand over the top. And the Spaniard will look to try and press in this final round. She needs to. And that could play into Preliminaries' hands, just picking those feet up. That's just a little idiosyncrasy that she's got. Left hand did reach. And that time it fell a little bit short. Right to the body there from Gonzalez Ortega. Gonzalez Ortega, throughout the course of the fight, really has just been wary of committing. As I said, I think she's got a lot of respect for Preliminaries, maybe a little bit too much. I'm not entirely convinced she really believed that she could win this fight. It's been that kind of a performance. As she throws the right hand there, she was kind of almost pulling out even before she threw it. Left hand there from Gonzalez Ortega. Did catch Prisciandaro.
Con la mano, mano arriba, mano arriba, mano arriba, mano arriba. Ahí. Hostia, Vito, Carmen, vamos. No te tires, no te tires, que te tires. Que te tires ya. No te tires tú.
Falling short with the 1-2 that time, Prisciandaro, but just stepped on Gonzalez Ortega again, who was backed up towards the red corner, heading up towards the final 30 seconds of this women's light flyweight bout between Prisciandaro of Italy in the red, Gonzalez Ortega of Spain in the blue. Right hand from Gonzalez Ortega, but then she just got caught in range, landed the punch, but the feet got stuck really. And Prisciandaro looking to try and work right to the end. Throwing that left hand. And that's a dominant display from the Italian. As you saw on the scoring, she swept the board at the ends of rounds 1 and 2. And I suspect she'll have done the same in the third there. So that should be her through to the quarterfinals, where she will face Ambrine ZITOUNI, of course, who we just saw. What you have to like about Prisciandaro is that, as I said, she keeps things simple. Good fundamentals, good balance, good feet. Just bringing her feet out there, throws those feints, looks to try and tempt her opponent in. And when she throws that 1-2, which she does a lot, but when she throws it, if it doesn't make it, she's not bothered.
In the ring B, win on point, but about a unanimous decision from the red corner, Erika, Prisciandaro, Italy.
So unanimous decision, 3-0 on all 3 of the judges' scorecards. That'll be one of the easier fights they've had to adjudicate over the course of these championships. And she was definitely one of the pre-tournament favourites, Prisciandaro, and she's made it through to the last 8. So we've got a fight in the women's middleweight division coming next. 9 fighters in this division for the women. So 7 made their way through to the quarterfinals with a bye, but Luisa VASQUEZ of Colombia and Sokhiba RUZMETOVA will have to meet. RUZMETOVA of Uzbekistan to take that final final place.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the bout number 192 in the ring B, middleweight division women's. Please in to the red corner from Colombia, Luisa Fernanda Vasquez CORTES.
Well, Vasquez, for most of her career so far, has been down at welterweight. Stepping up to middleweight in this competition.
Seconds out, please.
And please,
Round 2.
to the blue corner from Uzbekistan, Sokhiba RUZMETOVA.
RUZMETOVA has finished second in the Uzbek youth national championships
And the judges of this bout,
a few
Azerbaijan,
times,
Russia, Guatemala,
going back as
Mongolia,
far as
Jordan, and the referee from Bulgaria,
2016,
Maria
which is
Kavakova.
impressive. She would have been a young teenager at that point. Last year, she finished second in the Uzbekistan Elite National Championships at 75 kilos, so that's a significant achievement for somebody who at that point would have been 17, 18 years old. She's just turned 19 at the end of last month.
Сейчас я тебе это сделаю. Вот так, да? Сейчас я тебе сделаю. Нормально? Теперь как? Нормально или зажать снизу? Опустить, да? Опустить, да? Все вот так? Что тебе маску сделала? Мне надо было сверху расслабить, да? Все, давай, все. Давай. Thank you. Давай.
Not rolling, only clear punch and listen my point. Shake hands.
Смотри, смотри. Не подпускай ее вниз, понял? На передней держи и постоянно тыкай ее. Не бросайся только. Давай.
Round one.
So into the first, Vasquez of Colombia, boxing as a southpaw. She is in the red. Uzbekistan represented by Sokhiba RUZMETOVA. She's in the blue. Stands up very straight, RUZMETOVA. Upright kind of style. Vasquez, shorter of the two, just looking to try and weave her way onto the inside. The referee saying that one might have been a little bit low. But a clash of styles here, certainly. RUZMETOVA just setting up with those hands held out straight in front of her. She's going to be looking for the jab right hand, one would imagine, trying to keep it at range. Vasquez trying to get onto the inside. And she's managed to achieve that a couple of times, but walked straight onto one there. Left hand to the body, though, from Vasquez. And she's got to keep that head on the move as she comes in, Vasquez. Absolutely has to do that. She's got quite a robotic style, RUZMETOVA. Left hand there, got through from Vasquez. She's had some joy on the inside there. That opponent, as I said, stands very upright, very tall. There's no real head movement at all from RUZMETOVA. She goes in and out in straight lines. And Vasquez is causing her problems here. Just shuffling forward, RUZMETOVA. Just cuffing with that left hand. Nice left hand there from Vasquez. For the left hand there, Vasquez, but she just caught on the inside there a couple of times. RUZMETOVA trying to get that jab right hand going. That's what she needs to do. Just being more aggressive heading in towards the final minute of the round, and catches Vasquez a couple of times with that left hand as she comes forward. As I said, she's got to move her head as she's coming forward, Vasquez. That's what this is all about for her, really, because she knows she's got to get inside that reach. She's shown that she can do it, but if she's going to walk in straight like that, then she's going to get picked off. Lateral movement, dip side to side. Slip and roll her way in. It can be done. It can definitely be done, but frustratingly, having demonstrated it a couple of times in the opening 20 seconds, she stopped doing it. She had the better of the first minute, Vasquez, certainly, maybe the first half, but the second half of the round, RUZMETOVA has had her success. And there's a nice combination. Taken her a little while to get going. As I said, she is a little bit robotic in style, but certainly effective. Left hand on the inside there from Vasquez. He can't stand at that kind of range, Vasquez. Just got picked off again by a left and a right from RUZMETOVA.
Нормально все? Глаза закрой. Дыши давай. Вдох, выдох. Вдох, выдох, давай. Вдох, выдох. Как? Нормально все? А? Битый наркот? Сокhiba. Нормально все? Все видишь?
Look how she's set up there, RUZMETOVA, that lead hand a long way out in front of her. That's almost a psychological ploy to an extent, just to show her opponent just how long that reach is. And the daunting prospect of trying to get inside it. That was a nice short left hand from her there. It's not just the jab right hand that she's all about, but that is fundamentally what she's looking for.
Second round.
Good left hand there from VASQUEZ to kick the round off. She made a good start to round 1-2, and she just had a little step to her right-hand side there as she threw that left straight down the middle, and those are the kinds of things she needs to do. She just changes the angle slightly. Just inching forward here, inching forward, and then does move the head, just slips to the left before she launches her attack. She can get to RUZMETOVA here, VASQUEZ. She's demonstrating that. Left hand to the chest there from VASQUEZ. RUZMETOVA just trying to work those hands, but she didn't quite have room. Good jab. Right hand there from RUZMETOVA. Almost up at the midway point of this one. VASQUEZ of Colombia in the red, RUZMETOVA of Uzbekistan in the blue. Just slightly short with the right hand there, RUZMETOVA. VASQUEZ, maybe she's tiring in the second half of the rounds because, like the first round, she's now just standing absolutely still right in front of RUZMETOVA, and when she looks to come forward, she just comes forward in a straight line, and that suits the Uzbek. Left hand got there, though, from VASQUEZ. Right hand, a couple of stiff right hands there from RUZMETOVA. VASQUEZ just walks straight onto them. Left hand got through there from VASQUEZ, just dipped her head to the right-hand side as she fell in slightly, then through that left. Right hand from RUZMETOVA. VASQUEZ stuck to her task better, I think, in the second round than she did in the first. She has particular joy when she just dips off to her right-hand side, slips that foot a little bit wider, then throws that left hand basically straight down the center with her head off the punching line. That's worked for her.
Вытяни руки, ноги вытяни. Дыши носом. Еще. Еще. Burnu artar birinchi. Burnu qoq burnu. Burnu qoq. Yana. Ey, bosib qo'y deyman. Men bosib qo'ydim. Дыши. Давай. Слышишь, что тебе говорю? Я тебе говорю, что делать? Все, ничего не надо лишнего делать. Не надо бросаться. Смотри, сейчас она опять будет бежать на тебя. Сейчас ее влево чуть покрутить. Дерни правый жестко. Все, больше ничего не надо. Ты поняла? А? Давай, соберись последним.
Seconds out, please.
That was that left hand that gets through from her. From VASQUEZ.
Third round.
So into the third and final round. Sokhiba RUZMETOVA of Uzbekistan, they're over on the right-hand side there in the blue. Luisa VASQUEZ of Colombia in the red. And again, she just starts off straight away with a left hand that gets through. That's happened every single round so far. She starts off quick, Vasquez, and she starts off well, trying to put the pressure on RUZMETOVA. Good left hand on the inside, and another really big left hand, followed by a right. Good jab from Vasquez. And I thought the referee might jump in for a standing count there. She easily could have done, just saying to RUZMETOVA that she needs to try and avoid spinning around, and launching that left hand again, and she looks almost ready to go there, RUZMETOVA. I thought she was about to go down. If she catches her a couple more times solid here, Vasquez, then RUZMETOVA, I think, might take a trip to the canvas. This has been a tremendous start to the round from Vasquez. Really has. She's had a good start to every round so far, and RUZMETOVA, again, just turning her back a bit. He just dips on the way in there, Vasquez. She's got to try and keep this up if she can. She's got to try and keep moving that head, because when she does, that's when she gets through, and she's not nearly so easy to counter. Doesn't even really need to be side to side. It doesn't need to be exaggerated movement. It can just be a step to the side, just flex those knees, drop her height slightly. Launching a big left hand there, Vasquez, but I think that opening half of the round has maybe taken quite a lot out of her. She's got to really try and summon up some reserves here. Good combination there on the inside. RUZMETOVA looks like she's running low on gas as well. She's not really landed much at all in this third round so far. Vasquez, a little bit more energy there, just coming forward again, aiming a big left hand. That didn't quite make it. Into the final minute. Right hand there from RUZMETOVA. Right hand, followed by a left there from the Uzbek fighter, who in the final minute here, final few seconds almost, is just getting into her groove a little bit. Good left hand there from Vasquez. Put plenty into that one, just shooting it up. Landed squarely in the face of RUZMETOVA. Good cuffing left, followed by a right there from Vasquez, who's just setting her feet and looking to let her hands go. Right came back from RUZMETOVA in the middle of that as well. This has been a terrific final round. And a good left there from Vasquez to finish things off well. That is interesting, because going into that final round, she was behind there, Vasquez. She had a lot to do, because she was trailing by 2 points on 2 of the cards. The other one, on 4 of the cards rather. The other one was level, so she had a deficit to turn around. But given the start that she made, it looked possible. At one stage there, RUZMETOVA, to me, looked a couple of solid punches away from going down. And she kept working hard there, Vasquez, really kept working. Towards the end of the round, RUZMETOVA came back into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about number 192, win by points with split decision. From the blue corner, Sokhiba, RUZMETOVA, Uzbekistan.
RUZMETOVA gets it. She gets it 4-1. And she was holding on at times there in that third and final round. The opening round, I thought, again, like a few fights we've had today, I thought the opening round was tight. I thought Vasquez had the better of the first half. I thought RUZMETOVA had the better of the second half. RUZMETOVA got it. That what gave her that comprehensive lead going into the final stages. But Vasquez needed some 10-8s there. She needed some 10-8s, and she couldn't get them. After the start she made to the round, it looked possible. It looked possible that she might be able to get some 10-8s, but RUZMETOVA got herself back together. Vasquez just couldn't quite sustain it, I guess. Good right hand there from RUZMETOVA. She will take some beating, but she is beatable.
Men's 49 kilogram. Please into the ring. To the red corner. From India. Bishwamitra CHONGTHAM.
Bishwamitra CHONGTHAM of India, an Asian junior champion. We're into the men's light flyweight division here. He's heading for the red corner. Indian fighters have fared well in this ring, in Ring B, in general.
And his opponent placed into the blue corner from Iraq. Mahdi, PARVIZI, KHOSROSHAHI.
And heading for the blue corner, this is Mahdi PARVIZI of Iran. We saw him beat Daniel Ipia of Colombia in the previous round by unanimous decision. Decent performance, clear win.
The judges of this bout, Korea, Latvia, Poland, Guatemala and Israel, and the referee from Uzbekistan, Mr. Alexander Hamidov.
PARVIZI, as mentioned, has had one outing already. And I've debated this over the last couple of days, whether it's an advantage to have boxed already or not. And I think unless you've boxed on consecutive days, unless you're being asked to do that, which can be demanding physically, if you've had a rest in between, then I think it's definitely an advantage if you've already been out there, no matter how experienced you are. And CHONGTHAM is very experienced. I think it's a good thing to have got your feet wet, if you like. So here we go. Light flyweight division with the men. CHONGTHAM of India in red, southpaw. PARVIZI of Iran. As we saw against Ipia, he's got that kind of long, loose style. Tall, lean. Does pack a lot into that 49 kilos. That was a good combination there from CHONGTHAM, and this is lively stuff from him. Didn't waste any time there. Steps in from distance and then let both hands go with some real spite. He knows that his opponent's got the reach on him, CHONGTHAM, basically, and he's just waiting for his opportunities. And when he feels that one presents itself, he's not going to mess around. Got very, very quick hands. And PARVIZI, for his part, he can't be blinded by this. When CHONGTHAM decides to step in like that, what he doesn't really want to find himself doing is getting into a firefight and trying to match him for hand speed on the inside, because he won't be able to do it. When CHONGTHAM comes in, that's exactly what he needs to do. He just slid away to his right-hand side, then stepped to him when CHONGTHAM wasn't really ready to punch himself, and snapped off a nice long 1-2. That's the kind of fight he has to fight here. He's got to try and keep it on the inside. He doesn't want to trade with CHONGTHAM when it's up close. When CHONGTHAM steps to him, he's got to find a way out. It's an interesting clash of styles, this. He's always just inching forward with that front foot, the Indian fighter. Looking to put you under pressure. Reaching for that left hand a little bit there. Didn't quite land with it. Right hand there from PARVIZI looked decent. CHONGTHAM, though, just trying to engage him. And PARVIZI actually does pretty well there, to be fair to him. Just slipped to his left-hand side. He fancied it on the inside, the Iranian. And that was a great little passage of boxing. Good skills on show from both of them. Coming in from the outside there, PARVIZI. didn't get there with the first 3 or 4 punches, but kept coming. CHONGTHAM under some pressure here himself, right to the body there from PARVIZI. Into the final 20-odd seconds of round 1. It's been a good round, this. Pretty tight. Uppercut on the inside there from PARVIZI. Lovely right hand there from the Iranian as well. He's having a good finish to the round here. Left hand from him too. He's putting CHONGTHAM under good pressure here. Good opening 3 minutes that between these two. This is a high quality fight.
ببین تو یه ران مشت زیاد بزن به خدا کل بازی مال تو ببین الان دیدی چمپیون افراد
That was a good left hand there from CHONGTHAM. I think that was quite early in the piece. Keeps that balance. As I said, he just probes, shuffles forward, and when he gets close enough, he moves in. He takes his feet with him, so he's always got that good base to punch off. But that was a good round, that opening round. They both had their successes.
مثل بازی با چی بود؟ بازی با ریگی برو کار بزن سر
CHONGTHAM with India in the red there, just looking to try and pounce on the counter. Let's go with a rapid lead right hook, and again there, a good right hand just catches PARVIZI of Iran, and again they just look to engage left to the body from CHONGTHAM, who had the better of that exchange. PARVIZI, as I said, is happy to try and fight fire with fire on the inside. And it's not that he isn't having any success doing that, but that is more CHONGTHAM's kind of fight. He's got to try and keep him at a little bit more distance and just pop out that jab, throw that right hand, and just keep working that and keep working it for all he's worth, because CHONGTHAM wants to move in and punch when he wants to punch, if that makes sense. He has a good look and then decides that he's going to go. It's when he doesn't want to go, just there as he was backing off to the corner, when you know that he's looking to try and nick a rest, that's when you've got to get on him. You can't just allow him to choose his moments. That's good stuff from PARVIZI. Right hand got through there. Most of the rest of it was taken on the gloves. But again, he's just looking to reset there, CHONGTHAM. It's a tiring way to have to fight for PARVIZI. It is, but as soon as he sees, whenever he sees CHONGTHAM just look to try and regroup and step off, he's got to step on him. Right hand was taken on the gloves there, and PARVIZI just straight after CHONGTHAM, and that's exactly what I was talking about there. He throws the right hand CHONGTHAM and disappears to his right hand side, and PARVIZI just stepped on him, just chased him across the ring, got after him. PARVIZI with a couple of jabs, just reached, and then managed to pull the weight back, evaded a brace of left hands there from CHONGTHAM. Final few seconds of round 2, and this continues to be a good fight to watch. PARVIZI, as I said there, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier in the round. CHONGTHAM let a combination go, then moved off, and he's looking to get away at that point, and not necessarily take a rest, but PARVIZI just knows that that's his game. Get in, throw a rapid combination, get back out, choose his moments. And he's just trying to make him fight when he knows he doesn't really want to. There's not been an awful lot in this. Not a great deal to separate the two, I don't think. I see some good success there
Hands up, please.
for PARVIZI.
Third round.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 182 in Rike, men's light fly, 46-49 kilogram, into the red corner,
Good combination there from CHONGTHAM. PARVIZI was maybe just slightly hesitant as he came in himself there and he got caught 2-3 times. CHONGTHAM again with some really, really sharp, good work there. A couple of punches to the body and then rolls out. PARVIZI, as I said there, he's trying to stick to him like glue, make him work all the time. I'm repeating myself a bit now, but CHONGTHAM is one of those fighters who, as I say, he wants to work when he wants to work. He wants to decide when that's going to happen, gets himself nice and set, inches forward, then moves those feet in and lets them go. And he looks good when he's doing it. PARVIZI looking to try and match him on the inside whenever he can. Generally speaking, he'll come off second best there, though. But then when CHONGTHAM just looks to move off and regroup, that's when the Iranian is looking just to get on him, not give him any kind of respite. Just fell in behind the right hand a bit there, PARVIZI, and got picked off by CHONGTHAM. Just past the midway point of round 3. Good stiff left hand there from CHONGTHAM. Nice left hand there from CHONGTHAM again, and PARVIZI is really going, looking for him. Piling on the pressure as best he can. And it's leaving him a little bit open at times. That was a nice left hand, though, from PARVIZI. A kind of leaping left hand. Both feet were off the canvas as he threw that one. And ruffled the chin of CHONGTHAM. Nice left hand. They both threw left hands, and CHONGTHAM's got there first. He's got sharp hands. He really has quick hands. PARVIZI isn't too shabby on that front either. Solid left to the body from CHONGTHAM. Final few seconds of what has been a thoroughly enjoyable fight. PARVIZI looking for the 1-2. That just bounced off the gloves. And the head guard comes off there for CHONGTHAM, and he had a good lead going into that final round. PARVIZI found himself in the position of needing 10-8 to turn it around. So it's going to be CHONGTHAM who will get the decision here. Really, really good fight. PARVIZI played a massive part in it. I thought the opening round was quite tight. He could maybe have got a bit more return in the opening round than he did. But on those exchanges on the inside, it's CHONGTHAM really who just came off better. Just got slightly quicker hands, but PARVIZI's a good fighter. We'll be seeing him again, I'm absolutely sure. Not in this tournament, but you get my meaning.
Win by points with unanimous decision. From the red corner, Bishwamitra, CHONGTHAM, India.
CHONGTHAM gets it, and A couple of those judges have gone Parvizi's way, I think, in that final round by the look of it. Let's just get a look at those final round scores. Emerson Pastor has gone his way in that final round. One of the judges scored for Parvizi in the second round too, so that's how we've ended up with 3 scores of 3 rounds to 0 and 2 scores of 2 rounds to 1. Just a good battle all the way through. High skill level shown by both of these two. Good fitness levels as well. Because as I said, quite early on in the fight, for Parvizi, what he had to do really was just stay on CHONGTHAM all the time. I'd have to accept really that in those exchanges on the inside, maybe he was going to come off slightly second best sometimes, but then as soon as CHONGTHAM looked for an exit himself, as he does just there, that's a good example. That's what I meant. A flurry of punches, then he looks to try and slide away. He just never really let him. He was always after him, making him work, making him work.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the bout number 194 in the ring B, 49 kg men. Please into the red corner from Serbia, Omer Ametovic.
Omar Ametovic, the European Youth Bronze medalist who beat Oscar Drzyziak of Germany in the first round, heading for the red corner. Good performance against Drzyziak, up against a taller fighter with a longer reach, and he got in and out really well. Works well up close. Shows some good variety. I like the look of him.
And please see into the blue corner his opponent from Morocco, Hamza Essadi.
And this is Hamza Essadi's first fight of these 2021 Youth World Championships. From Morocco, he's boxing out of the blue corner. He got a bye in the opening round.
The judges of this bout, Slovakia, Ireland, Turkey, Sri Lanka, and Armenia, and the referee from Israel, Artur Turginian.
Our judges from Slovakia, Ireland, Turkey, Sri Lanka and Armenia.
Round 1.
So into the first, Ametovic of Serbia in the red, Essadi of Morocco in the blue, and as he was in the opening round, Ametovic is in with a taller fighter here. He generally will be. He is on the short side. Now, what's Essadi got in way of a jab? That'll be the interesting thing to see here. Well, kind of led off with the right hand there. Ametovic got inside it and through his own combination. He's a busy fighter, Ometovic. Plenty of energy about him, but he's got some skills too. Dips to his left-hand side there. Looking for a big swinging right hand. And then wrestles Asadi to the canvas, apologised for it. I think would have tried to claim that was an accident. I don't think it was. I think it's just an opportunity he took there to demonstrate to his opponent that maybe he's got the greater physical strength. Cheeky little bit of dark arts there from Asadi, just trapping the glove of Ometovic with his forearm on the blind side of the referee. Well, this is messy so far because these two are up close and grappling a lot of the time. Asadi, for a tall fighter, does seem to prefer it on the inside. You see where he holds that jab hand. He's not ever really looking to use it. That right hand is cocked and ready to go at all times, really. Just touches with that jab, but it's only really to measure the distance before he lets that right hand go. Little flurry with the feet there from Asadi. Very early stages to be doing that. Ometovic just prowling, keeping those gloves moving, looking to keep those shoulders on the move and the head as well. He's finding it tricky here against Asadi, Ometovic so far. He's kind of all long limbs and levers and angles and elbows, really, Asadi. Ometovic aiming a big right hand there. A couple of right hands on the inside there from Asadi. Final few seconds of the round. Neat right hand there from Asadi. So Ometovic has been on the front foot looking to try and make things happen, and he's got a through with a good few shots, but Asadi not without his own successes.
مشاش ليا بوحدك راه كتخربق راه بغيتي تضارب انت دابا خاسر الماتش علاش غادي عنده 160 مره كنقول لك ما تمشيش عنده ما تمشيش عنده بقى بعيد وما تبقاش دير لا دوات وما تبقاش دير لا دوات كتسمع اش كنقول لك ما تبقاش تضرب لا دوات الاولى ضرب لا غوش لعبها ديستونس خاسر الماتش بهذا الشيء بغيتي تخسر الماتش بغيتي تمشي بحال بحالك الوغ لعب لا بوكس ما تدفعش ما تشدش كلشي كيشوف فيك كتدفع وكتشد كلشي باينه كتدفع وكتشد
Seconds out, please.
As I said, Asadi did have his successes at times, just finding Ometovic on the inside. Ometovic trying to swagger his way in, close that gap down. There was an unbelievable amount of advice coming in from the Moroccan corner there for Asadi. I'm never quite sure how helpful that is, because fighters just been fighting for 3 minutes, they get sat down and then they get 50 seconds of just non-stop talking. There's no way they can take all of that in. Just absolutely no way. So Ometovic in the red, just looking to try and swarm Asadi in as educated a fashion as he can, just dipping that head as he came forward. He gestured towards the canvas a few seconds ago. I'm not quite sure why, because there's nothing on it. He's thrown plenty on Ometovic, but he hasn't had anything like the same completion rate that he had the other day against Jadrisiak, who did tend to stand more in front of him than Asadi. Asadi looking for the right hand as he just allowed himself to sink into the ropes a little bit. Good right hand there from Ometovic. Good upper body movement there from Asadi. Familiar pattern to the first round, really. It's Ahmetovic who is a hunter in there. Asadi, for the most part, being forced to give ground. There's not been a lot of clean punching from either fighter, really, in this fight so far. There's been a lot of intent from Ahmetovic. Asadi hasn't just been backpedaling. He's been throwing himself too. Neither one of them has had a great deal of success pinning the other down. Lead right hand there from Ahmetovic. Wasn't strong, but it did land. He's maybe just a bit too eager here, Ahmetovic. He's so keen to get to this Asadi that at times he's making life difficult for himself. He's right on top of him, too far on top of him, really. Hasn't got any kind of space to work. So that makes things a little bit more interesting heading into this final round.
Seconds out, please.
Good combination there from Ahmetovic, finishing nicely on the left to the head as well.
Third round.
So third and final round, Omar Ahmetovic of Serbia in the red, Hamza Asadi of Morocco in the blue. Ahmetovic with the win in the competition under his belt already, having boxed in the prelims. European Youth bronze medalist. Little tap on the back of the head there from Asadi. Unnecessary. Straight right hand there from Ahmetovic. Asadi was backing up to the ropes. Right to the body there from Ahmetovic as well. He's a little bit more measured in this round so far, just slightly. He slowed things down a bit. He never slows them down completely, but he has slowed them down a bit. Good head movement there from Ahmetovic. He's been a bit too much 100 miles an hour at times. So heading into the final minute. It's been an untidy fight. I think it's fair to say that. It's been a kind of clash of styles here, really. Asadi, tall, long-limbed, but has looked to try and mix it up on the inside. Ahmetovic has come forward relentlessly, but when he's found himself there, it's not easy because Asadi's got those octopus-like tentacles with which he can tie his opponent up quite comfortably, and just aiming that left hand to try and catch Ahmetovic on the way in there, Asadi. It would have been good to see him do more of that. As I say, he's got the reach, he doesn't use it, he never throws a jab, really. And against a fighter like this, you need that jab. I've seen quite a lot of tall fighters this week who would appear to have the natural tools to be able to just throw a good jab, and particularly when they're up against a shorter, more robust kind of fighter who will look to get onto the inside, because that's where they have to be to do their work. They just haven't been able to use that jab to set them off balance and keep them off and disrupt them, and that was kind of the case there, really. Bit of a frustrating fight, that, I think, for Armetovic. He's won it. And that's a good combination there, finishing with the left hand. He's won the fight. He's won all 3 rounds, but I don't think he ever really quite hit a groove and got going in the way that he would have liked.
Ladies and gentlemen, win on points by split decision from the red corner, Armetovic, Serbia.
So Armetovic gets it, and he goes safely through to the quarterfinals. 4 cards to 1, so Ireland just going against him there, 2 rounds to 1. Everybody else finding in his favour, generally by scores of 3 rounds to 0. Some split scoring in that final round from Ireland and Armenia, but that was comfortable for Armetovic. As I say, he didn't land as much clean as he would have liked, but nor did Asadi. It was one of those fights, and it was Armetovic who landed more and who certainly made the fight more and worked the harder of the two. So he will go through to face CHONGTHAM. That could be a real interesting fight, that, in the quarterfinals. You look at the styles that they've got. CHONGTHAM likes to keep it on the outside, step in, use those blazing hands. Armetovic will meet him. He will definitely meet him, and he will look to stay on him and make him work in the way that PARVIZI did as well. So absolutely look forward to that.
Seconds out, please. Round 2.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the bout number 195. Please into the red corner from Germany, Giuliano Goma.
So this is Giuliano Goma, boxing for Germany, out of the red corner. Looking for his place in the quarterfinals.
From Kazakhstan, Sanzar Tashkenbay.
And this is Sanzar Tashkenbay of Kazakhstan, heading for that blue corner. So our quarterfinal lineup for the men's light flyweights nearly complete.
Guatemala, Bulgaria, Russia, Mongolia, and Armenia, and the referee from Ireland, Ms. Daphne Sadi.
Those are our 5 judges. Usual jacks, gloves, protector, head guard, gum shield. Just checking that all of those are there and properly in position.
Round 1.
So into the first round here, Giuliano Goman of Germany just catches a jab there. We've got 2 southpaws here. Goman's in the red. Tashkenbai of Kazakhstan is in the blue. Lively start. Tashkenbai looking for that jab, hooking off the jab there as well. Measuring the uppercut as Goman tried to come forward, and Goman has got to try and get inside that jab hand, and Tashkenbai is just pumping it out again and again and again. Doesn't always lead with the jab, sometimes with the hook. Looking for the left hand that time. The backhand didn't land, it just slipped over the shoulder of Goman. He's trying to move that head on the way in. That's absolutely what he has to do. Looking for that high guard. The jab again, though, just gets through. Good feet there from Tashkenbai as Goman came forward. He just slid back, maintaining the distance. That's where he wants it, you see. He wants it just on the outside because he knows that he's got the goods on Goman in terms of that reach. Another good jab again there. And Goman's finding this hard because he's catching that jab when he's trying to move in. He's not getting hurt by it, but as I've said so many times over the last few days, it's a scoring shot, first and foremost, if you manage to land it on the torso or the head. But secondly, even if you don't and it hits the shoulder or the side of the head or the gloves or the guard, the forearms, whatever, it just causes your opponent, who was on his way in, to have to reset and start again. And really, you control the flow of the fight. There's that jab. He just throws it, throws it, throws it. Left hand on the inside, Tashkenbai. And again there, as he just looked to try and close in, Goman. He just takes those feet back really well, Tashkenbai. He's got good balance. Nice 1-2, and the referee rather steps in with the standing count. Impressive stuff this from Tashkenbai in the opening round. Goman just getting slightly desperate there and ends up being slammed to the canvas there by Tashkenbai. He came rushing in. He just wants to try and get something done, get into distance and land something on Tashkenbai. It's not been possible for him so far, and he's just getting picked off. He's doing the right things by and large. He's trying to move that head as he comes forward, Goman. He's got those gloves up protecting himself. But this is a tough gig for the German fighter because Tashkenbai, on the basis of that first 3 minutes that I've just seen there, is a quality fighter. Just throwing that jab and then the 1-2. You see the balance he's got there. 2-3 jabs followed by the backhand. And then when his opponent tries to get on him, just those quick little movements with the feet. The feet are never,
Seconds out, please.
they're always the same distance apart. You could tie a rope between those 2 feet and he'd never fall over his own feet because
Round 2.
they're always so evenly spaced. That's the drill fighters do in the gym. Trainers will make them do it in the gym. They will tie a piece of string between their 2 feet to try and keep them the same distance apart at all times, whether they're moving forward, whether they're moving back. And Tashkenbai absolutely has done those drills because his feet are always the same distance apart, and that's what gives him that balance. Cuffing right hand there from the Kazakh. He's in blue. Giuliano Goman of Germany in the red. Looking for the uppercut there, Tashkenbai trying to tempt Goman in, and then just gets back on the jab. Just touching with the jab there, looking for the backhand. Wasn't quite there. Goman had pulled back himself. Looking for a left hand there, Goman. 1-2 from Tashkenbai. Goman just closes in, but got slightly too close there. Nice right to the body from Tashkenbai. And again, just trying to move that head on the way in there, Goman, but this is very frustrating for him. Very frustrating because he's just not really able to land anything on Tashkenbai at all. He's barely landed a scoring blow. And there's that jab, and again, it just bangs into the forehead, and you see the balance go back into the heels. And he has to go again. Good jab again there from Tashkenbai. This is textbook stuff. Really is. This is how you box a shorter, potentially all-action kind of come-forward fighter. This is how you do it. Just feinting with the front foot there, and again, Tashkenbai. Goman just a little bit wary now. One-two, and then stepped off to the side. Uppercut, snuck in there as well.
Нормально. Терем дело. Полную грудь. Полную грудь. Еще. Давай, подыши. 4-5 раз. Глубокий вдох. Еще. Вот, да, корпусом, да. Подыши.
I think a bit more expansive in that second round. Tashkenbai looking for the odd uppercut. Hook to the body, finishing on the uppercut. In the first round, it was about the jab, really. And that backhand, just working his way into the fight, getting that jab working, and then adding to it, and then maybe just putting a little bit more of a flourish on it as we head into the third round. And that's really what you see really good fighters do, is they get the jab going first. Then they'll add the backhand, and then maybe they'll put a third punch into the combination. He knows that the Goman is going to really come out and go after him in this third round because he has to. He's got no choice. But that might give him a few openings. Again, trying to move his head there, Goman, trying to get close enough to let his hands go. And just there is really where he does need to let them go, because he was close enough there a couple of times in that previous round as well. He's just tried to to slip and roll, dip his way in, and he's got there, and then he's just kind of frozen a bit. Quick hands there for Tashkembai, just bouncing off the forehead of Goman midway through round 3. Goes the body then up to the head and then snaps the 1-2 down the middle. German corner just trying to encourage Goman. He's never stopped coming forward, he's never stopped trying, and as I said, he is trying to work his way in a lot of the time. It's not just basic Route 1 stuff. He is thinking about this and trying to figure out a way to get past that jab and do some damage. It just hasn't proved to be possible. And he's taken a lot. He's been hit clean a lot. Lead uppercut there from Tashkembai. Always just able to maintain that gap through those quick feet. Bell goes to the end of the 3rd round, and that was terrific from the Kazakh, really was. A very, very good performance. He is going to take some beating, and he's won this by an absolute mile. As I said, I don't really... You can't criticise Goman too much because he did his best. He was always trying. He does have some ability as a fighter. You can see that. Short left hand there. He just always found the distance. Brilliant. Really was.
Ladies and gentlemen, in bout number 195, win by points with unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Sazar Tashkembai, Kazakhstan.
And a sporting round of applause there from Goman himself. I think he knows that he's been sharing the ring with somebody a bit special there. And I'm sure he'll be hoping that Tashkembai goes on to win gold so he can tell everybody that he was knocked out by the eventual winner. There was a number of 10-8s throughout the duration. Emerson Pastor didn't give one, nor did Gambol Badrak, but everybody else did. And Vardan Bagdasarian at the bottom there gave 3 consecutive 10-8s, and I can completely understand why he did, because the volume of punches getting through, although none of them massive, these are like flyweights, they're not huge bangers generally, but the sheer volume of clean punching was, well, it was right up there with anything you'll see. And Tashkembai will fight the winner of our next fight, which is between Georgi Kinoyu of Romania, who we saw beat Dmitry Vieira of Moldova, or Ibrahim Ishchanov of Uzbekistan. Now, Ishchanov comes with a reputation. He's got to take care of Kinoyu, of course, but Tashkembai Ishchanov, Kazakhstan against Uzbekistan in the quarterfinals, well, that could be very interesting. So this is our next fight. It's a good tussle he had with Dmitry Vieru of Moldova. Ganoyu. Ishchanov will be boxing for the first time in this competition.
Number 196, 49 kg men's. Please into the red corner from Romania, Gheorghe Inoiu.
Here comes Ganoyu.
And his opponent facing the double corner from Uzbekistan, Ibrahim Ishyanov.
Very fresh face, these two, both of them just 17 years old.
And the judges of this bout, Azerbaijan, Israel, Guatemala, Poland and Sri Lanka, and the referee from Armenia, Mr. Vardan Bagdasaryan.
Seconds out, please. Round 3.
Zimnie. Zamawiam. Kulak.
Azerbaijan, Israel, Guatemala, Sri Lanka and Bulgaria are judges. So the winner of this will complete the bottom half of the light flyweight draw. The top half has been taken care of as we speak in Ring A.
Round 1.
So Ishchanov of Uzbekistan in the blue. Boxing out of the southpaw stance, Ganoyu of Romania in the red. Looking for the right hand to the body there. Ganoyu just kind of fell forward as he threw it, but he did land. Physically, Ishchanov is pretty similar to Tashkenbai, who we've just seen. Tall, very lean. Southpaw. Nice left hand there from Ishchanov. Just made Ganoyu fall short and then caught him. Right to the body, again from Ganoyu. Springs in, closes the gap and has found the body a couple of times. Nice 1-2 there from Ishchanov, who goes to the body himself. Just sticking with left hand there, Ishchanov. Off the back foot, left to the body. That was a good shot from the Uzbek. And then a left hand up top. He's just kind of warming into it here. Finding his range a little bit, maybe. Just short with the left hand, then tried a right uppercut. Wasn't quite on. Catches Ganoyu as Ganoyu moves forward. And not a completely dissimilar dynamic, this, to the fight we've just seen between Tashkenbai and Goman. Goman was looking to try and get onto the inside, and Ganoyu was looking to try and do exactly the same thing. He's not moving his head all that much. He's just trying to kind of barrel forward, really. Ishchanov doesn't keep it quite as long as as Tash can buy, but he is using that jab. His lead hand, mostly though, is there just to measure for the left. Leads off of that left as he did there. That's something he likes to do by the look of it. Final few seconds of round one. Stoops with a right hand there, but got caught on the chin as he was throwing it, Janoyu. Nice couple of body shots there, though, from the Romanian.
Seconds out, please.
Good left hand there from Ishchinov. Pretty much dictated terms in that opening round. Kept the fight at the distance that he wanted it at. Janoyu doing his absolute best to close that gap and get his own punches off. Starts off there with a lead left uppercut. Really does stretch and reach for that right hand at times, Janoyu. As I said, he doesn't particularly try and work his way in. He just throws and does everything he can to try and make the punch get there. And what that means is that often he'll be off balance. That weight will come over the top of the front foot. And that's what Ishchinov is looking for, really, to try and catch him on the way forward. Good left hand there from Ishchinov. Made Janoyu fall a little bit short, made him reach for that right hand and then countered. Dipped to his left and through the kind of screw shot there, Janoyu. Almost got through with it. Left to the body there from Ishchinov. Left to the body as well, though, from Janoyu. Just keeps coming there, Janoyu, trying to push Ishchinov back towards the ropes. Kind of 2-3 phases of attack there. Ishchinov was always on the retreat. Looking for the uppercut again there. He's unleashed that quite expansive left uppercut a few times, Janoyu. He's worked hard in this round. He's put plenty into it. For the most part, he's been the one pushing this, looking for the uppercut again there, but the accurate punching, the more accurate punching, has come from Ishchinov. Left to the body there to finish things off for Ishchinov. End of the second. Just shuffling forward with the feet there, got into distance. Ishchinov. Just dipping in with the front foot, trying to draw something from Dzhinoye, did, and then came back with the left hand. He doesn't throw unless he's in range, unless he feels he's in range. It sounds like an obvious thing to say, but as I was saying earlier on, some fighters, they throw a punch and they just so desperately want it to get there that if it's not going to reach, they just move in behind it and do everything they can to just see it to the target. But that, balance-wise, is a terrible thing to do, really. Ishchinov doesn't do that. Composed, well-balanced fighters, you will see, they don't do that. They'll throw a punch, it doesn't make it, no big deal. They'll just bring it back. Left hand there, at good distance from Ishchinov. They won't force it. Like I say, they won't reach for it. There's a lot of failure involved in boxing. Most of what you throw won't land. Good left hand there from Ishchinov. Heads almost coming together on the inside there as Dzhinoye came forward. Catches a couple there. You just saw the head jerk up. Left hand there from Dzhinoye did land as Ishchinov was looking for an uppercut himself. Midway point of the round. Nice jab there from the Uzbek. He's in blue. Dzhinoye of Romania, who's in the red. He's not getting schooled here, Dzhinoye. I wouldn't say. I wouldn't quite go that far, but Ishchinov has been in control of this fight from the start, really. And unless something extraordinary happens in the final minute, we will get to see Ishchinov against Tashkenbay, and well, that is going to be extremely interesting in the quarterfinals. Kazakhstan against Uzbekistan always is, but we've got two fighters with similar kinds of styles, not just because they're southpaws, but because of their physiques as well. Credit to Dzhinoye, though, he's never stopped coming forward. He's never stopped trying, much as Goman didn't. He's kind of stuck to his method, always trying to get onto the inside, always trying to land something. Just dabbed in the face there by left hand from Ishchinov. But it's been just a bit too difficult for him. A combination there from Ishchinov, right on the bell. He came in with that head quite high a lot of the time, that chin quite high. And Ishchinov was able to catch him as he was moving forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, who win on points with unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Ibrahim Ishyanov, Uzbekistan.
So Ishchinov gets it, and it's 3-0 on all 5 judges' scorecards. There wasn't really any other way you could score that. As I said, it wasn't a schooling there for his opponent, for Dzhinoye. But he's eased through there, Ishchinov, really without ever getting out of, well, second gear at best, maybe even first. He's got that good kind of smooth economy about him, in terms of his style. And we can very much look forward to that quarter-final between himself and Tashkent. Like I said, just pokes out those gloves, looking to measure the gap, measure the distance. When he feels he's in range, he'll let them go. If they don't quite reach, he'll just bring them back. That balance is always there. The weight doesn't come forward over the top of the front foot. As I said, he doesn't reach for it. He doesn't look for it. He's not desperate to land it. You just execute the punch. You think you're in distance. You execute the punch. And if it lands, it lands. And if it doesn't, it doesn't.
From Ukraine, Dmytro Todorov.
So into the men's bantamweight division, this is Dmytro Todorov of Ukraine. He'll be shimmying his way into the red corner. He got a bye in the opening round, so this is the first time that he's boxed in this splendid arena in Kielce.
And his opponent in double corner from Armenia, Ruslan Aslikyan.
So that's Todorov. Aslikyan we have seen. He beat Oye Ibarreche of Spain by unanimous decision. From Armenia, Aslikyan, a former European medalist.
And the judges of this bout, Korea, Bulgaria, Ireland, Jordan, and Uzbekistan, and the referee from Slovakia, Radosław Sivko.
And whoever wins this will face Michele Baldassi of Italy in the quarterfinals, because Baldassi was scheduled to fight Arashi Kajihara of Japan, but that's been called a walkover. Korea, Bulgaria, Ireland, Jordan, Uzbekistan. Our judges, 5 scoring judges at ringside as always, scoring using the 10-point must. They can give scores of either 10-9, 10-8, 10-7. I incorrectly yesterday said that 10-6 is still in operation. It's not any longer. And it's about interpreting dominance, the scoring. A standing count or a knockdown does not necessarily mean that it will be a 10-8. A couple of them doesn't mean that it will be a 10-7. It's part of the overall bigger picture, unlike professional boxing in that sense. You don't see many 10-7s. I saw one yesterday. I think that's the only one I've seen in the competition so far.
Round one.
Plenty of 10-8. So into the opening round, Dmytro Todorov of Ukraine. In the red, Ruslan Aslikyan of Armenia. In the blue, and both of these southpaws, both of them getting to grips with each other, or trying to, pretty much straight away, looking aggressive. Just short with a jab there, Aslikyan. Neat turn, no away to his right-hand side. Bit of work on the inside from Aslikyan. Todorov looking for the head with the left hand. And this is some pace. Right hand from Todorov. He's quick with those feet, Todorov. Took them out there, then just closed back in. Always hurrying them towards his opponent. Left hand again, lands. Not all that solid, but did land from Todorov. Aslikyan looking for the body. And he's just looking a little bit hurried, Aslikyan, a little bit hassled. Off balance a bit there, Todorov, as he moved forward. Just trying to set his feet a touch there, Aslikyan, and get some weight on a couple of body shots. Maybe see if he could take the steam out of Todorov a bit. Good clubbing kind of left hand, though, from Todorov. Good stiff left, and Aslikyan forced to take 2 or 3 backward steps there. Long left hand there from Todorov. And the pace that he's working at here is proving to be a problem for Aslikyan, because Todorov's accuracy is improving as well as the round's gone on. Left to the body there from Aslikyan. few more of them would not go amiss. Slikyan just trying to work the body there. Todorov continuing to come forward. Slikyan just doing a little bit better here. Throwing that right hand off the back foot. Final few seconds of round one, and it has been busy, to say the least. Nice combination there from Todorov. Slikyan, they get off the back foot though, got a couple through. And there was a lot thrown in that opening round. A lot thrown by both of these two. The man on the front foot really kind of making the running more was Todorov. Slikyan, I think, was not caught cold exactly, but a little bit surprised by the pace of the opening there from Todorov. And Slikyan definitely came back into it towards the second half of the round. Good combination there from Slikyan. Watching that replay, left hand there caught on the forearm. Stepped off to the right, and then a short left hand.
Round two.
There was a spell during that first round where it just looked like Todorov was getting on top of his opponent. Landed a couple of good solid shots, but he regrouped well there, Slikyan. Strong finish to the round from him. So into the second, Todorov in the red, Slikyan of Armenia in the blue. Todorov boxing for Ukraine. Nice movement that from Slikyan. You can see that Todorov was aiming the left to the body. It was coming from a long way back. It was fairly obvious. Just found a good distance at the start of the second round of Slikyan, just managing to maintain that gap. That's something he struggled with a bit in the first round, in the first half of it, because he jumped on him really, Todorov, at the beginning. There's a bit of tape just trailing from the wrist there of Slikyan. Finishing on the right hand there is Slikyan. Todorov trying to look for the jab. Rolled off to his left. Bit of steam has gone out of Todorov here. He's still coming forward, or rather has been taken out of him by Slikyan, because he's getting caught more and more on the way in here. Short left hand on the inside there from Slikyan. And Todorov's method is still kind of the same in that he's coming forward, but in the first round there was just more movement, more lateral movement. He dropped his height more, used those legs, dipped the knees. But Slikyan is just picking him off on the way in here, again and again and again. It's good boxing from him, make no mistake about that. Lovely left hand there from Slikyan. dabbing right from Sokhiba. Just moves well, just keeping his man turning and moving and having to alter his stance and the angle, and he's happy just throwing on the move as Sokhiba. Can get the punches in from all points of the compass, really. There goes the bell at the end of the second round.
Seconds out, please.
So third and final round. Ruslan Sokhiba of Armenia in the blue. Dmitry Todorov of Ukraine in the red. Left hand there from Todorov. Needs a good start to the round, I would say, here, because in that second round gets caught by a big left hand there, though, Todorov. He just seems to run out of ideas a bit. Falls short with the jab. And Sokhiba, again, just rotating around that centre ring, just keeping Todorov moving, constantly turning him. Nice left hand there from Sokhiba. Just worked the body, just tip-tapping really, nothing major, and then threw a left hand over the top as he got the gloves down, forearms down to try and protect that ribcage area. Made to miss there as Sokhiba. Todorov went after him, trying to press home the advantage, but couldn't quite do it. Left got through there from Todorov, but just before that, Sokhiba had landed his own, and it's still Sokhiba who's bossing things really right into the pit of the stomach there. Todorov continues to come forward. The start of the round, he was full of energy. That energy bar seems to have been depleted quite quickly. He's not giving up on this, not by any stretch, but Sokhiba is looking pretty dominant. The Armenian just trying to chop down with that left hand. Todorov's mouth just hanging open there as he leans over the shoulder of Sokhiba, who just dips those knees. 1-2 there from Todorov, though. Final few seconds. Good finish there from Sokhiba, who raises his right glove. And I can understand why he's done that, because over the course of the 3 rounds, you would make him a fairly clear winner there. He had a decent lead going into that final round, 2 points up on 3 of the judges' scorecards. So Todorov had to produce something special in that final 3 minutes. He needed some 10-8s to turn things around, and well, that never looked likely. Sokhiba's punches never travel very far, but there's enough on them. He's never very far from his opponent either, but he just keeps turning. He's always close,
Ladies and gentlemen,
but pretty
the
safe.
winner of this bout, win on points with split decision. From the blue corner, Ruslan Aslikyan, Armenia.
Aslikyan gets it, winning all 3 rounds with 3 of the judges, 2-1 with another, and the other going 2-1 in the opposite direction. 10-8 in there from Sadie Duffy. He's a good fighter, Aslikyan. As I mentioned, he's always close to his opponent. Always within punching distance, pretty much. And that's the range that he chooses to be in. But he's always just making his man turn, just slipping off to the side, slipping off around the back of them almost. That's where he feels safe. He feels safe there. Doesn't feel the need to slip out of range and take a walk and disappear off to the other side of the ring. And that takes some skill, that takes some confidence.
And ladies and gentlemen, in next bout, 198. In the men's 56 kilogram, we got the walkover and the winner by walkover from Italy, Michael Baldassi. And we go to the next fight, the bout number 199, 56 kilogram man.
We just had confirmation there of the walkover that sees Michele Baldassi go through to the quarterfinals. We saw Baldassi, former European Junior champion, beat Marcel Matula of Poland in the previous round. Looked good fighter to watch. Arashi Kajihara of Japan couldn't box today, so that was a walkover. Baldassi goes through, and he will meet the winner of. He beats Aslikyan, I beg your pardon. And our next fight up is this one, Altan Tulga Barseghyhan up against Dilshad Abdumuradov of Uzbekistan, who caught the eye the other day, I have to say.
And please into the ring B, into the bout 199, to the red corner from Mongolia, Antaluga Bayarashikan. And please to the blue corner from Uzbekistan, Dislot Abdumuradov.
So Barseghyhan, who headed to the red corner there, we saw him beat Vitali Priskaru by split decision, 3 votes to 2, if you like, in the previous round. Dilshad Abdumuradov, he got through by unanimous decision against Lukáš Lorenko of Slovakia.
And the judges of this bout, Jordan, Latvia, Poland, Azerbaijan, Ireland, and the referee from Slovakia, Mr. Radoslav Simon.
Jordan, Latvia, Poland, Azerbaijan, and Ireland on duty. Ringside are 5 officials. So touch of gloves between these two. Altan Tulga by Saikan of Mongolia in the red, Dilshod Abdulmuradov of Uzbekistan in the blue. Both of these two orthodox fighters. Abdulmuradov, as I said, impressed in the opening round. Nice right hand there from the Uzbek early on. By Saikan. Let go with the left hand to the body, missed. There's that right hand again from Abdulmuradov. He's timed out a couple of times already. Just touching to the body there by Saikan. Abdulmuradov just steps forward though and looks for the right to the body himself. Good left followed by right there from Abdulmuradov. And just stalking his opponent across the ring. Never in too much of a rush, just moving in bit by bit with that front foot. Then he go with a big left hand there by Saikan. Didn't quite find a home for it. Left to the body from Abdulmuradov. Nice bit of movement there from Saikan. Then went to the body with the left hand and combination downstairs as well. Good fight this, halfway through the first round. Abdulmuradov really went looking for Saikan at the start. Saikan has settled quite well actually. Got caught by 2 or 3 pretty solid right hands early on, but that hasn't happened since. Good jab to the body there from the Mongolian. He's just beginning to have a bit more success here. Right hand landed there, I think. By Saikan over on the far side of the ring. Working to the body again there. Good counter right hand there from Abdulmuradov. And just short with the 1-2. Interesting round this. Abdulmuradov had a good start, really came out of the gates pretty quick. Connected with some solid right hands early on. Saikan though has worked his way into it. That was a good start that he had. That right hand. Mostly those right hands landed at the beginning of the round.
Seconds out, please.
But he got some profit to the body towards the end of the round there by Saikan.
Second round.
So into the second by Saikan of Mongolia. In the red, Dilshod Abdulmuradov of Uzbekistan in the blue, just poking with that lead hand, trying to just measure that right. Manoeuvring by Saikan back into the corner. Didn't manage to let go with the right. Whilst he had his man where he wanted him. Sneaky little left hand there, got through from Abdulmuradov. The 1-2 was mainly taken on the gloves, I think, by Saikan, but you can see that it registered. Looking for the uppercut on the inside there. Abdulmuradov didn't quite have room for it. Good right hand there from Abdulmuradov. Just took the weight back and then threw it sprung back in off that right foot, just pulled it round back in behind him and bounced back off it to throw the right hand. Good left hook there too from Abdulmuradov. Nice one too from Abdulmuradov, and he's dictated the distance well in this round. The problem that Bayasaikan has had is that he's just not really been able to get close enough to get anything done. Left hand there from Abdulmuradov as well. He's used the jab pretty well and the 1-2, and he's got that height and that reach, and he's just had the fight at a distance that just doesn't work for Bayasaikan. He's not really been able to get to the body as he did in that first round. Generally speaking, he's been on the end of some pretty good shots here from Abdulmuradov. 40 seconds remaining in round 2. Right to the body was sharp there from the Uzbek. And the left hand, he just loses his balance slightly there by Saikan as he takes a backward step. And I think he's beginning to feel some of these a bit, because he's taken a bit of hammer in this round, to be honest. A big right hand there from Abdulmuradov, followed by a left. He's been accurate, and he is a little bit spiteful at times too. Final 10 seconds. Leaping in there by Saikan, missed, and clipped a couple of times by Abdulmuradov. Very good round for him. Good right-hand counter there. He just made Bayasaikan fall short and then hit him with the right hand, and he landed plenty of right hands in that round. As I said, he just controlled the distance, and as I've said before, when you control the distance, you control the fight, and there wasn't all that much that Bayasaikan could do about it, really. He was trying to get onto the inside, but Abdulmuradov just kept catching him, just kept pinning him with lefts and rights. And I think it's taken something out of the tank for the Mongolian, because towards the end of the round, he was looking pretty weary there. Starts off though with a jab to the body. Does get through to the body a couple of times there. That'll give him some encouragement. And again. Trying to bring it here by Saikan. He needs to. Abdulmuradov just flicking that jab up from the waist. Left hand from the Uzbek. Short left hook. Left hand just snaps back the head there by Saikan, follows it up with a couple of shots again. Left followed by right, looking to try and lead off with the left uppercut there, Abdulmuradov. He's got a good rhythm about him. He's not frenetic, but it's a decent pace. He's got that balance, of course, and I think there's some snap on these punches. I think when he lands, you know about it. Short right hand again there from Abdulmuradov, and looks to try and ditch in a left hand. And just look at him circling by Saikan here, just keeping it at his range. Stiff jab. Trying to get onto the inside there, the Mongolian. Did have some success, actually, earlier in the round. Really had to work for it into the final 30 seconds. He's had a better round in this third round by Saikan, but I don't think a good enough round to win the round. Left hand there from Saikan. He's a decent fighter and he's worked hard all the way through this, but Abdulmuradov has just managed to, as I say, just keep him where he's wanted him, particularly from the second round onwards. And there goes the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by unanimous decision.
And this is going to be a comfortable win for Abdulmuradov. He was 2 rounds to 0 up on all 5 cards at the end of the second round, as you saw on the screen, and he's won that third round as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring B, winner points with the unanimous decision from the blue corner, Gislot Abdulmuradov, Uzbekistan.
Abdulmuradov advances. He impressed in his opening win against Lukas Lorink, and he's done so again here. Unanimous decision. And everybody going for Abdulmuradov in round 3. And Yunus Nabil of Jordan gave Saikan a round in there. Everybody else found all three for the Uzbek. And there was a 10-8 in that final round too. He's good to watch. He's going to be hard to beat. I wonder if anybody can just kind of throw him out of that rhythm, really get on top of him. He tried to at times by Saikan, but it's easier said than done because, as I was mentioning all the way through the fight, really, from that second round onwards particularly, he just managed to dictate the range. He's got long levers and he punches hard, I reckon. He might not look like he does, but I think he must do, because by Saikan, particularly towards the end of the second round, it just looked like some wind was really going out of his sails, and a couple of times he did look a bit hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring B we have the 200 bout. And please, to the red corner, from Colombia, Jose David Valdez Jimenez.
We saw Valdez in the first preliminary round with a win over Ali Fahad of Jordan by unanimous decision. So he's had one outing already.
And please, to the blue corner from India, Sachin.
And boxing for India out of the blue corner, Sachin. Fellow countryman Bishwamitra CHONGTHAM had success earlier on in his fight against PARVIZI. And it's been a happy hunting ground for Indian fighters. Ring B. GITIKA as well.
The judges of this bout: Guatemala, Uzbekistan, Israel, Korea, and Bulgaria, and the referee from Armenia, Vardan Bagdasaryan. This is men's 56 kilogram.
And another win for India today, right at the start of the afternoon session, was GITIKA at light flyweight. So hoping to make it a hat trick here before we wind up for the afternoon here in Kielce. So Valdez in the red, Sachin in the blue.
Round one.
So into the first, this in the men's bantamweight division, 56 kilos. And the winner of this one will go through to face Dilshad Abdulmuradov, who we've just seen. Sachin just stamping with that front foot a bit, just feinting, trying to see if he can draw something out of Valdez. Quite a cagey opening. Valdez just coming forward there, looking for the right hand, but Sachin had taken the feet back, so I don't think either one of them really landed. And neither one of them's quite getting there at the minute. Sachin stepping in there, left to the body. Right hand from Valdez taken on the gloves. Move forward there quite smoothly, Valdez, but didn't land, and Sachin countered with the left hand. Good left hand followed by right there from Valdez. That was quite expansive, big left hook. Scything left hook followed by right hand over the top. Sachin goes to the body there as he's got Valdez in the corner. And again, just manages to back him up a little bit. Working hard here. Sachin looking for the openings. Valdez again just looks to try and wing with that big left hook right to the body. Pretty even contest this so far. Both of them approaching this in kind of the same way. They're looking to step in with some fairly big shots. Generally speaking, not really jabbing their way in, feinting the jab sometimes, and then looking to close that gap quick and then throw a big hook. Either upstairs or down. That's generally what we're seeing. There was a jab there from Sachin, but it wasn't really a weapon. It was more of a rangefinder, a distraction, and then bombing with a big left hand. Not many of them have landed, which doesn't make this the easiest round in the world to score, but it's Sachin who was generally speaking on the front foot. He was the much more proactive of the two, which could well count. Right hook there from Sachin, landed kind of high on the top of the head. And he just outworked his opponent in that round, really.
Second round.
Valdez can't allow that to happen. In the second, in a three-round fight, you've got to make sure that you match the work rate. You've got your own style, of course, but dropping rounds because you've been outworked is just not on the agenda at all. Sachin looking to start quite quick at the start of the second round here. Valdez, again, just getting backed up to the corner a little bit here. Again, just dipping in with the front foot there. Left to the body from Sachin. You see that movement with the front foot. He just almost kind of stamps in with the front foot, just throwing that left hand. And he's absolutely entitled to throw that left hand because it's Valdez who's trapped his right arm and actually pulled him into exactly the right position just to club him with the left hand. And I don't know why he stopped. He got through with 2, 3, 4 punches there. Good right hand there from Sachin too. This is a good round for him so far. Really bossing this first minute of round 2. Valdez just holding on a bit there. He's going to get a point off here if he's not careful, because he's been doing quite a bit of holding in the second round. He just seems to have lost any real belief here, Valdez. Sachin, again, just looking to try and back him up towards the corner. Left hand to the pit of the stomach there from the Indian. He's in blue. Valdez of Colombia is in red. Combination, just pushing him back towards the rope. So Valdez comes back with a right hand, but Sachin is in total control here. Nice little step to the right hand side, landed a left hand to the body, then just changed the angle, step away to the right hand side, and that allowed him to throw that left hand straight down the middle, right between the forearms. It's a really effective body punch, that. You don't see people do it all that often. A lot of the time, they'll dip to the left and look for that left hand inside the elbow, into the floating rib, or same thing on the right-hand side. But if you step to the right-hand side, you can then just throw that left hand straight down the center. So bell goes at the end of the second round, and they'll be happy in that corner, I would say.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So it's the third and final round. Valdez of Colombia in red, Sachin of India in the blue. Good couple of left hands there from Sachin. Arcing left hands, found good distance, good range. Nice little fake with the front foot there. Again, looking for the left to the body there, Sachin. Followed it up with a left to the head. This is better for Valdez. He's managed to get himself back more into the center of the ring. Leading off with the right uppercut there, Sachin, following it with the left hand, taking on the gloves there from Sachin. Just standing on the edge of range there with the hands down, just goading Valdez slightly, just offering him that head, see if he'll take a crack at the target. Kind of crabbed forward with that left hand there, and again, Sachin, he's full of confidence now into the final minute. Nice left hand. He's shown us some decent variety. He's got more and more expansive as we've gone on. That was a lovely jab on the move. Left hand to the body too in the neutral corner, right above me. Another good uppercut. This is really good stuff from the Indian fighter. I tell you what, that fight between him and Abdulmuradov is going to be interesting, because unless Valdez can knock him out in the last 30 seconds here, he's won this fight. And he will be going through to the quarterfinals. Final few seconds. I've enjoyed watching Sachin. Been a good performance. Valdez worked hard, was mostly in it in the first round, and then in the second round, particularly from the second round onwards, Sachin just took over. And in that final round showed us a good array of punches. And that fight between him and Abdulmuradov, that is one to look forward to, definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner with unanimous decision from the blue corner, Sachin, India.
So Sachin of India goes through, and he's won all 3 rounds on all 3 cards, and there's some 10-8s in there as well, a couple for Israel, 1 for Ireland. And as I say, that quarter-final between India and Uzbekistan, well, I shall await that with a lot of anticipation, because he got better and better as the fight went on there. Sachin. Valdez looked like he might have something to say about things in the opening round, but the Indian fighter produced a good performance, really good performance. Good use of the feet there, just to take himself back out of range. He was balanced all the way through. And in that final round in particular, just threw in a few uppercuts. And it wasn't just flashy stuff, it was percentage stuff. They were the right punches. He picked good punches all the way through. So that winds it up for the afternoon session here in Ring B on day 5. We've seen some good fights again. We've seen some good performances. Tashkenbay of Kazakhstan in the light flyweights for the men. Particularly enjoyed watching him, but there have been a number of good performers. Erika Prisciandaro of Italy at light fly in the women's half of the draw. Enjoyed watching her again. And the quarter-final lineup at light flyweight will be complete. That was a good fight at middleweight between RUZMETOVA and VASQUEZ as well. VASQUEZ really piling back into it in the final round. For a second there, I just thought she might be able to turn that around. Didn't prove to be the case. Armetovic, kind of a more workmanlike display from him than the one we saw the first time around. CHONGTHAM, PARVIZI, now there was a good fight. That was a good fight. Tashkenbay just showed the skills that pay the bills, really, in that fight. Absolutely, he did. Ischanov of Uzbekistan, similar kind of fighter to Tashkenbay. Baldassi with a walkover, and then those final 2 wins for Abdulmuradov and Sachin. We'll be back with you in just under an hour.